Welcome back. In this session, I will explain TCL, Transaction Control Language. You know that already in previous session, I explained types of SQL statements in that definition language, data manipulation language, data control language. Already I explained what is the purpose of DDL, what is the purpose of DML, and what is the purpose of DCL. In DDL, there you can create the table, drop the table, alter the table, and truncate the table. And in the case of DML, data manipulation language, there you can manipulate the data when required. And data control language, there you can give the grant or revoke. In this session, I will explain transaction control language. Actually, this part of SQL provides some comments for controlling the transactions. Means that what here, there we did some transactions. If you want to control the transactions in the database, that can be done with the help of transaction control language. Here there are some TCL comments are there. First one is commit. This command is used to save the changes. When you made some changes in database, when you made some transaction in database, if you want to save that, we can use the commit. Already database is there. I made some changes. If you want to save that, we can use the commit command. And also, it can be given to commit that operation. That means permanently. Before that, I stored something here. I made some changes here. Any changes you can do. I want to store changes permanently in database. That can be done with the help of commit statement. You see how we can use a commit command. You see the syntax. Just to use only commit. When you go to DBMS, you will get SQL greater than. There you have to write the commit and enter key. When you press enter key, commit will be completed. What you made the changes in the database, that will be replaced with the changes. Then we can't get the old one back. Next, another rollback. Suppose I did some changes, but I don't want to changes on the transaction in the database. In that case, you can use a rollback, but it should be done before it is committed. Once you committed, then you cannot roll back. Before doing, already we did some changes here. Before saving that into your database, if you want to get back old one, not changes, that can be done with the help of rollback. When any database operations is performed, if you want to revert back to the database status, before the operation was performed, then we can use the rollback statement. Syntax is rollback. When you open SQL, we will get the symbol SQL greater than. There you have to use the rollback, then press enter key, then rollback will be completed. Now I think so you got it. Commit and rollback. Commit for saving the changes in the database, what we did in the transaction. If you want to undo that, that can be done with the help of rollback. That is the main difference between commit and rollback. Next, we'll pass on to querying at the database select with where class. You know that what is the purpose of where class? It is used to extract only those records based on the conditions. You can give any conditions. Suppose simply if you select, it will display all the records exist in the database. Suppose select, you have to give the table name. You can specify the column name, from which table, where salary greater than 5,000. Like that you can use the where class. Otherwise, simply if you use the select and other things, it will display all the tuples or records exist in the database. That is the purpose and use of the where class. The where class is used to extract only those records that fulfill a specified criterion. I told you already, where salary greater than 5,000. It will extract only those tuples where salary greater than 5,000. It will not extract less than or equal to 5,000. How we can use this? SQL where syntax you see, select column name, column name from table name, where column name operator value. I will give the simple example here. Suppose assume my table name is employee. There are three columns are there: employee number, employee name, salary. Assume I stored employee number is 1. First tuple is employee number is 1, name is A, 5,000. Second tuple is 2, B, 10,000. Here I will take only two tuples here. I will tell you how we can use it here. Select column name. Suppose if you want to extract to only employee number, you can write column name there. Suppose if you want to extract only name. My question is like this: in this table, you display only those employee names where salary greater than 5,000. How we can write it here? Select employee name from employee where salary greater than 5,000. We will get only B. Correct? You got the point. My table is employee. There are three columns are there: employee number, employee name, salary. First tuple is 1A 5,000. Second tuple is 2B 10,000. Now I want to display only those employee names where salary greater than 5,000. How we can write it here? Select employee name, column name is from which table? Employee, where salary greater than 5,000. We will get only B. Correct? No? First 1A 5,000, 2B 10,000. It will not display employee name A because it is less than or equal to 5,000. That is the purpose and use of the where class. Next, select with the order by class. Here suppose if you want to sort the table, you can use this order by class. Here either you can sort in ascending order or descending order. Sorting means what here? Arrangement of elements either in ascending order or descending order. Ascending order means what here? Lowest element to highest element. Descending order, highest element to lowest element. By default, it will arrange in the ascending order. If you want to arrange in descending order, you have to use the keyword DESC, descend, DESC. Now let us see how we can use this one. How we can write the statement syntax. Select column name, comma column name from table, order by column name. If you omit ESC or DESC, it will arrange in by default ascending order. If you want to arrange in ascending order, ASC you have to take. For descending order, you have to take DESC. For example, select employee number, a column name is employee number from employee table, order by column, that is what employee number, ASC. It will arrange in ascending order. If I use DESC, it will arrange in descending order. That is the purpose and use of the order by. By use of order by keyword, we can arrange the elements either in ascending order or descending order. Ascending order means what lowest element to highest element, and descending order means what highest element to lowest element. How we can use it here? Select column name, comma column name. Any number of columns you can take here. From which table? You have to specify order by column name, comma column name, ASC for ascending order, DESC for descending order. That is the purpose and use of order class. Next we will pass on to select with group by statement. Actually, group by statement is used to conjunction with the aggregate function to group the result by one or more columns. Suppose if you want to group the result, if you want to aggregate it, that can be done with the help of with the group statement here. How we can use this one? You see the syntax. Select column name, comma aggregate function within the bracket column name from which table, where column name, operator which operator. Something you can take here greater than, less than, whatever value, group by the column name. If you want to group the together, either you can go group it employee number, salary, or name or address like that here. If you want to group it, that can be done with the help of group by statement here. That is the purpose and use of the group by statement here. Here you have to specifically specify the which columns are you want to group. Then you have to that where condition. So check the condition. You extract the only those tuples or records based on the condition. In that you have to use the where class here. So I already explained salary greater than 10,000. Like that here, you can use it here. Next we'll pass on to select with having class here. Another class is there here. Then here what we can do here when you use the aggregate function, when you use the aggregate function, you have to use the where class here. But here, when you use having, no need to use the where class here. By use of this class, we can add to SQL because where keywords could not be used with the aggregate function. You see that select here also select column name aggregate function within the column from table where you have to use it here, name having aggregate function operator value. See here having class was added to SQL. For what purpose? Because where keyword could not be used with aggregate function. If you not using the where keyword with the aggregate function, there you can use the having class here. Next, finally, a SQL distinct statement here. Here, what is the purpose of this one? Here, there are so many, assume in a table there may be duplicated values are there here. I want to get only distinct values. That can be done with the help of that is what here select distinct statement here. Suppose I have taken 1A 5,000, 2B 10,000, 3A again I will take. A is duplicated 2 times here. I want to extract only the only ones. That can be done with the help of distinct statement here. Here how we can use it here now? Select distinct column name, any number of column names you can write from table here. Then if I take select distinct employee name from employee. Now it will display only once. Name may be duplicated many times. I told you already A is duplicated here. It will display only AB. That's it. That is the purpose and use of the select distinct statement. Thank you. See you in the next session.